What is up, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, pogues and grunts? It's Mountain Man here. Today we're starting part one of the basics of room clearing. I don't know how many parts this is going to be yet. This is flying off the top of my head pretty much. But essentially, today we're starting on the bare bones basics, the things you learn as brand new private, brand new recruit, things like that, of just basic Battle Drill 6, which is the Army doctrine for room clearing. So, today we're going to go through those bare bones basics, and then the next video will get more in depth. Video after that, even more in depth. We're going to break down the kind of different stages of room clearing, at least that I learned throughout my time doing this stuff. Up to where we're at today, as far as what kind of tactics are being used and how effective they are. What I'm going to show you on here, just keep in mind, this became doctrine in the 80s, in the 1980s. So this was early on in the room clearing space. I'm actually not really well versed on what the doctrine was before the 80s, but these tactics specifically were adopted into doctrine in the 80s. It can be effective if used correctly, especially with things like grenades and stuff like that. But if you're in more of a law enforcement setting, you might not have access to flashbangs, some of that stuff. Believe me, it's weird. But yeah, you might not have access to some of those tools that make this more effective. And it's going to be a lot more dangerous to do it this way than ways that will be shown later. But that being said, even the later, there's parts of this basic drill that translate into the more up-to-date tactics. So we're going to start here on the bare bones basics, and then eventually, piece by piece, get more in depth into the more effective and safer tactics of how to do this. So let's get this transitioned over. So, all right, our guys have already made their approach, so we're going to say they came from this way, set up. Now, here's what we got. We got our point man here, number 2 man, number 3 man, number 4 man. Right now, they're in their security bubble. That meaning that number 1 guy is holding security on this door. Number 2 guy here has this bubble. 3 guy has this section. And number 4 guy has this section. It's basically a security bubble. What that allows them to do is they have security on the door, as well as all this area around them. And out and beyond, obviously. But besides the point. So, number 1 guy's got the door. Number 2 guys got the 12 o'clock. Number 3 guys got the 3 o'clock. Number 4 guy has the 6 o'clock. And their 9 o'clock, their left side is covered by the wall. So they've made their approach. They're at the door stacked up. I know when I was first taught, it was taught that the number 4 guy would come up and check the door for traps or devices, see if it's unlocked, and then he becomes the breacher. Granted, the number 4 guy was usually a saw gunner as well. A lot of that is unit specific as to their SOPs. I know the unit I was in, we didn't really do it that way a whole lot. We tended to have the point man do that, and then the number 2 guy would cover the door while he was doing that, which you'll see on here. I can't really check the doors necessarily. Actually, I probably could set it up where you can, but I didn't on this one. Besides the point. So, number one, for the sake of today, number one guy, or your point man, is going to open the door. He's going to be the breach, as well as the first guy in. There's two ways you can make entry into here. And actually, we're going to fast forward or play it through a little bit. So, what's going to happen? Point man is going to open the door. Number two man is going to kind of step offset, still staying outside of that fatal funnel, but enough that he can cover the door while the point man is opening it in case some a-hole behind the door is waiting with a gun trying to kill these guys. So you see he's staying just outside of that fatal funnel, but he's covering the door in case a-hole right here decides to show up and start shooting. He can deal with him since he's busy with the door. And you'll notice these two guys, number 3 and 4 man, also moved up a little bit and transitioned over to covering his sector as best they can. There's only so much you can do with only 4 guys, but they're doing their best to cover as much as they can. So doors open. They're ready to rock and roll. So now as far as making entry, there's 2 ways they could do this. There's a saying with room clearing, the point man's never wrong. What that basically means is whichever way the point man decides to go, that's his decision. He can choose that direction. It's up to the guys behind him to see that and go, okay, I need to go this direction. So for example, one of the older ways of being taught was point man runs the rabbit, which is going straight down this wall here. Or, and the way I liked to do the most when I was doing this a lot was button hooking. There's advantages and disadvantages to both. For today's demonstration, he's going to button hook. At the time, I thought I had a better advantage to be able to. So essentially what our SOP was the number 1 guy would enter. If he did run into somebody in this general area that was a threat, he'd take a pot shot at them. Didn't even necessarily have to hit them, just a shot in their direction. Because 5.56 indoors is fucking loud. It is ridiculously loud. So take a shot at them. Doesn't necessarily have to hit them, but it will scare the living crap out of them. Transition over, hit your hard corner. That should, in theory, give your follow-on guy time to get into the room and start actually engaging those guys. I don't remember if he actually did it or not in here, but we'll see. So, doors open. They're making entry. He's going to button hook. So he comes in. He saw a guy pot shot. And manages to hit him. Hits his corner. It's a game. That's not really realistic. I would have just gone on and hit my corner at this point. Like that. So now he's headed for his corner. Number 2 guy's hitting his corner. 3 guys making entry, and he's focused on the center of the room. He's going to come in, fall in behind the point man. Number 4 guy's going to come in. He's also going to be focused on the center or higher threats. Can't really show that in the game, but if there was something like murder holes in the ceiling or something like that, that's his job to cover those, and he's going to be following in behind number 2 guy.
Tango hit! Tango down!
So now if you look at this, they're in an L shape, meaning anything in here is screwed if it tries to get up and shoot at them. Because not only are they getting hit from this way, they're also going to get hit from this way. So now the room's cleared. Something that would have been announced during that entry is, hey, closed door, corner of the room. Closed door, far corner, whatever. So now they have to go to that door, continue clearing through the structure. So what's going to happen is Since all these guys are way over here and that fatal funnel runs along this wall and out here, this guy is going to pull security on the door. Point man, number 3 and 4 man, are going to move up along the blind side of the door and get stacked up. Then number 2 man can come in and rejoin them. Something also per doctrine that, again, it's unit specific. Some units that I've been in, once you've cleared the room, you sound off. So the team leader will say something along the lines of sound off or give me an up. They'll sound off with, there's 2 different ways we've done it. The initial way you're taught is you sound off by number. So it'd be number 4 up, number 3 up, number 2 up, number 1 up. Problem with that is everybody forgets what number they were. The further you get into a building, you don't know what number you are anymore. It's kind of stupid if you ask me. So what we would do in the better units I've been in, what we would do is our SOP was you would sound off either by your call sign or your name, one or the other. So it'd be like Mountain Man up, Teeth up, Sunshine up. Yeah. We had some weird call signs. But anyway. So yeah, you'd ready up with your call sign or position. And then once you know everybody's up, then okay, cool. Fucking you hold security, we're gonna move. So he's gonna hold security. Now that they've readied up, they know everybody's alive. Nobody's really injured. Or at least not injured bad enough that they're out of the fight. So he's gonna hold security, they're gonna move. And that's exactly, whoops. That's exactly why you hold security. Oh,
Good job.
Shit. There we go. So he's holding security. This a-hole heard the commotion happen in the room and decided, hey, I want a piece of that. So he tries to come in and ambush him. From the looks of this picture, he didn't stand a chance. Not only was he going to get hit by this guy had a shot. This guy kind of had a shot. I think the point... Pretty much everybody had a shot on him. Some of them are... These 2 are a little close together to shoot. But these 2 especially had beautiful shots on him. He wasn't doing anything. He wasn't making it very far. I kind of skipped over it at the beginning. So there's 2 types of rooms. This is a demonstration of a corner-fed room. Obviously, because the door is in the corner. Typically what I've found, when you hit corner-fed rooms, you typically end up with an L shape at the end, just due to how it is. The other way is, let's say this door is over here in the middle. Then you would have what's called strong walling. So number 1 man, we'll say he went left, 2 man went right, 3 man went left, 4 man went right. Now you've got number 1, 2, 3, and 4 all on the same wall facing the center of the room, basically getting online. I'm not going to show that in this, but I'll throw up a picture showing what I'm talking about. Once again, it's the same thing. Number 1 man chooses which way he's going to go. Number 2 man falls in behind him, going the opposite direction. 3 man follows the point man. 4 man follows the second guy. Number 1 and number 2 man's priority is those hard, deep corners. So if we're talking about this corner-fed room, it's going to be these 2. If we're talking about a center-fed room, it's going to be this corner and this corner. Okay, so there is something a little bit different about center-fed. So, point man, second man. Number 3 man, when he comes in, yeah, he's going to check the center of the room, but he's also going to check this corner too. So 3 man comes in, checks the corner and the center. Number 4 man checks this corner and the center. And then if they don't have friendly follow-on forces, number 4 man will go back and look at that. Basically pull security on the door in case somebody comes around behind them. I didn't show that in this one, as we're going to say that they have friendly forces outside covering out here. If they didn't have friendly follow-on forces, if this is just a 4-man team and they might have hostile forces coming in behind them, then that number 4 man is going to turn around and pull rear security on the door. Yeah. So that's pretty much the basic principle of room clearing right there. Now there are some things that can make it easier, like fragmentation grenades, flashbangs, things like that. Something that's really important in close quarters combat is what's called the OODA loop, which is observe, orient, decide, then act. It's the same basic process every single person goes through on every single decision they make every day. You don't realize it, but that's what happens. So when something unexpected happens and you have that what the hell just happened moment and freeze up, that's because your OODA loop just got reset. Hence the reason for what I was talking about earlier with the point man coming in. If he sees somebody take a pot shot, I should rephrase that. If he sees a threat, take a pot shot at it, even though that's not his point of domination, because that has a higher likelihood of resetting everybody's OODA loop. So I hope you all found that at least somewhat informative. Like I said, this is going to be a video series that is going to be several parts. This is just the very bare bones basics of what I'm talking about. Keep an eye out for part 2. That one we're going to start talking about more deliberate clears. This is more of a direct action clear where you're using speed and violence of action to throw your enemy's OODA loop off. The next one that we're going to talk about, it's a little bit safer, but it's also a lot slower. It's going to be slow and deliberate room clearing. There's going to be a lot of pieing involved, things like that. We'll get more into that in that video, but this is just your bare bones basics of simple direct action, speed, and violence of action. So keep an eye out for part 2. If you like what you're seeing so far on the channel, give it a like, give it a subscribe. That is very appreciated if you do. And I'll see y'all on the next one.